Hi, I'm Luke. She's like, enough. What's her name? She's literally like, this handshake's taking too long. I drive through Bakersfield all the time, and I'm like, is there anything worth going to see in Bakersfield? And now I realize there's two things.
Right. So that was the open, right? So I'm assuming a lot of familiarity. Do you notice how most people, when they open sets, they're like coming from a place of they don't know the person at all, but then they want to throw out some compliments or they want to throw something out there, right? Whether it's direct or compliment or whatever it might be. If you can just assume the familiarity, it's a Brian Tracy concept, you assume massive familiarity, they usually will just accept it. And even if they don't accept it, it's always going to help the set anyway. Okay? Even if it will feel a little bit awkward for a couple seconds to just assume that much familiarity. And then they gave me a lot of buy-in right away. Right? We won't say the set hooked right away, but like there's definitely buy-in. They weren't like, oh, I don't know about this guy, right? So then what I rewarded them, right? I said, oh, there's two things that there's two reasons now to stop in Bakersfield. I was even super incorrect, but they never corrected me because the set was just so bubbly. I thought they were saying, not Bakersfield, Baker or different. I thought they were saying a town between Vegas and LA, but I think Bakersfield is between like LA and San Francisco. I mean, Vegas and San Francisco.
Right. Bakersfield is between Vegas and LA.
Is it? No, Bakersfield is like north.
Sacramento, between LA and Sacramento.
Yeah. Bakersfield is like 8 hours north. Like it's got nothing to do with LA. It's like up. It's like an oil town or something, right?
I've been there like once.
Yeah, there's a different town that's similar that I thought it was, but they never corrected me, right? So watch. Now there's two things. So remember, just because I do a fairly indirect game, that doesn't mean that I'm not conveying a lot of sexuality. I'm just not putting all my cards on the table. So you'll see that here.
I almost said 4 things. I'm so terrible.
I gotta love this facial expression she makes. What the fuck is that? I said I almost said 4 things. I'm so terrible. What does that mean? There's 4 titties, right? So that's what I was saying. Oh, haha, I almost said 4 things, but I'm so terrible. Anytime that you want to say something sexual, especially in a social circle kind of setting, you can say, I almost said, fill in the blank with the dirty thing, I'm so terrible. And if you put, I almost said, well, I really want to fuck you in the ass, God, I'm so terrible, glad I didn't say that. Right? You can say such aggressive stuff, but if you say, God, you know what, you almost made me think of this. You almost made me want to put you in the bathroom and fuck the shit out. But no, we just don't have time. We gotta say hi to this person over here. Right? So you still got all the bonus points of the sexual escalation without nearly as much negative of you being this aggressive sexually escalator. Right? You want to be aggressive with women, but you don't want to be a guy who's looking like you're being aggressive with women. Do you understand?
I was almost like, so 3 things. Two things and then 1 thing.
Notice I make constant light physical adjustments to her body. You're gonna notice that a lot in this interaction and some of the other ones that I show you. So I don't escalate a lot, but look at how much I actually make physical contact. Okay, every single time she says anything at all that's pro me or pro the conversation, pro investment, touch to the shoulder, touch to the hips, touch to the small of the back, touch to the chin, the face lightly. Look, they're laughing hysterically. Like this, the set couldn't be going better after 30 seconds. But I literally just said, yeah, I'll stop in Bakersfield to check out your 4 breasts and that badass you I just got, right? That badass ass, right? I turned her to look at the butt. You understand? You can be that sexual right off the bat as long as you're disqualifying and not showing so much direct interest. Do the girls know I'm hitting on them? Of course. But I'm still holding a lot back.
I was like, there's 3 things. Why are you guys in Vegas?
It was her birthday last weekend, so.
And you're still here.
When you tease that much and then you ask an open-ended question and then just be silent, look at all the investment they give you. Instead, if you just walk up to a group of girls and go, hey, what are you celebrating? Or you do an open and you're like, oh, what's going on? How's your night? Like just a typical kind of early stage small talk question, they usually give you what kind of response? Yeah, they give you something, but it's usually boring or whatever. Notice that she said 8 lines or something there? That was because I put in so much teasing ahead of time, so many different types of breaks and rapport right off the bat. Then I just asked an open-ended question, let it sit, and then that's the buy-in. That's all the participation in the conversation. The more she's talking to you, the more she's earning your affection. And then when you reward it, she's happy that she did all of that, and then you get the result that you're after. And the best part about that too is, in a social circle setting, you don't even have to ever make it look like you're hitting on a girl. It always can just look like, especially if you put the proper physicality in, meaning you're locked in, always up against something. Meaning I even do negative, if I'm not locked in, I oftentimes will do negative body language. Negative body language is arms crossed, hands sometimes in front of my face, right? Or if I'm sitting, sometimes I'll cross my legs and move. The opposite of what you normally would think of as good body language. Does that make sense?
So I've seen you do that in videos. Like, how does that play out for you? Or like can you give me more of a mindset behind that?
Yeah, you'll see it right in here. Yeah. I actually, what ended up happening is I learned enough attraction game, I learned status, and then when you're kind of new to pickup, you just want to learn anything you can to build attraction. You're just like, well, man, I'm kind of grasping at straws. Let me just build as much attraction as possible. And it's like a music equalizer. You just kind of crank everything up, right? Anybody else feel that way?
Yeah.
That like once you like, you just flood it, right, with attraction. You're like, oh, so wait, if one leather bracelet makes me attractive, what about 4 leather bracelets? Then a POA necklace with the, the fucking like the yoga instructor shell necklace. You know what I'm talking about? Like back in the day, that was like the POA thing, right? Let me get the necklace, the leather cuffs, and the New Rock boots. If 2-inch lift makes me sexy, what about a 6-inch lift in my boots? Right? Like you just want to add it up. But the problem is it's more like a music equalizer where you want to adjust different things. So if you're coming in with, like, notice I don't, like when I talk to a girl, I don't stutter unless it's on purpose to build comfort. Right? I don't stutter because I've just been in this situation so many times. You don't stutter, you're pretty suave, all your jokes are on point, and you'll get, any one of you guys can do that just by putting in that practice time and knowing the right things, right? So because of that, at a certain point, I need to give her something, or there's no vulnerability in me. There's no humbleness to it. There's no opening for then her to invest. If I'm just this like attraction. Eventually, it's just like what's happening? It's like too polished for its own good. Does that make sense? So if some of you guys are joking too much, all that you have to do sometimes is a little bit less joking, and then cross your arms, or look away from the girl a little bit too much. Show a little bit of disinterest, right? That will cause the attraction to actually bust through that plateau. Make sense?
Yeah. So
cool.
You like at some point, when would you know to use that? Because like a lot of times I'll be out. I'm super good at just having fun, like joking around, but then it's thinking in the moment, like, oh, maybe I should just show a little disinterest right now.
I can help him with that because I've seen him do it.
Sweet.
So, you probably don't notice it because you're having so much fucking fun, but you have to do both. Where you're amping your own state, you're doing shit to amp your own state. Yeah. At the same time, you gotta calibrate to her because, like, if you make some crude joke and you think it's fucking hilarious, but she hates it, like, you still gotta like calibrate a little bit. Like, you can't just keep going.
Well, here's the other thing too. Like, don't do crude jokes because you think of an amazing crude joke. Do the crude joke when it's time to break rapport. If she's investing and she's telling you a bunch of stuff about herself, the number one intermediate PUA thing that guys do wrong, if you have a little bit of success but you're at an intermediate level, is they flirt too much. They tell too many jokes. What ends up happening is you end up putting yourself in a situation where you're punishing compliance. Okay, when the girl's complying with you and then you break rapport, you tease, you come up with that clever zinger, right? You end up causing her to tell you less information, but you think that because you made her laugh or because you had some funny points in, that it's not going to work, or that's going to work. When in reality, at a certain point, no more funny guy stuff. At a certain point in the night, like, you should be like almost like sulking in the corner, like dramatic guy, where you're just a sounding board for everything that she has to say. Right? Once you pump her full of enough attraction, then it should be like isolation, if you can get it. Quiet area. It's like the same reason like an after party is not like tequila and loud music and and loud hip hop, right? An after party is like maybe a glass of wine, some soda water, and like light jazz or like R&B, if you will, right? The after party shouldn't be this fucking crazy rager. Go for it.
So you have to reward good behavior.
Correct.
The other thing, and then also if you're a little bit too you build too much attraction or you're too smooth, a little bit of self-deprecation or making fun of yourself a little bit, is that
okay? No, you shouldn't do that, because the problem with self-deprecation is that, or the benefit of self-deprecation is that self-deprecation builds attraction, because self-deprecation breaks rapport. So what ends up happening is if you find that you're getting a lot of attraction and you try to self-deprecate, you might as well be telling a tease to her, because if it's proper self-deprecation, she doesn't believe it. Right? When I tell girls I live in a hammock and I actually have a really sick apartment, well, like, she doesn't believe that I live in a hammock after I've been having a cool conversation with her for 20 minutes. Right? She's like, oh, where do you live? I'm like, oh, I have a hammock outside of Mirage. And she's like, what? I go, but the trees are really sturdy. It's great. Really? Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing hammock, right? She doesn't believe it. She immediately, self-deprecation, you use that to tease. I mean, it's an amazing technique, but you don't want to use self-deprecation if you already think you have a lot of attraction.
Does that make you a little bit, does self-deprecation make you a little bit more relatable when you're just too smooth and like too much?
Self-deprecation does start to make you more relatable unless you're deprecating on something that's obviously very cool. Do you understand? Like, so you can self-deprecate about your personality all day long. Like, I love telling girls that I'm super shy. A great thing to do is tell a girl, so give a girl a joke, get her to laugh, tell her how funny you think she is while she's laughing. And it will reinforce the feeling of you making her laugh.
What do you think about the whole?
It's super money, right? You make the joke, she laughs, go, oh my God, you're so funny. And then she'll look at you and be like, well, hi. She'll like laugh harder. And then what you say is, I really appreciate you for breaking me out of my shell because I'm normally very shy. But you say it super polished like that, and the girl's just like, wait, what? She like is confused, there's some cognitive dissonance there, but then she still said, oh, you're welcome. Or she'll go, you're not shy. And I go, no, I really am, thank you so much.
Okay, so like if you're being a little bit too, because I think maybe some guys who at least have a little bit of knowledge or success in PUA, maybe if you're too much for her, you're like, people don't realize that you can come off as like too smooth, too attractive, too high value. Then how do you bring it down to where?
So especially using like the social circle blueprint tactics that like I'm showing in every single one of these videos, you'll almost always be too high value, always too high status. Like for any girl, like any night I go out in Vegas, Miami, New York, something like that, and even here that I've built up a little bit while I've been here, is that it's like by default you have enough or too much attraction. So your comfort game needs to be stronger.
Oh, so that's what it is.
It's comfort and rapport. Don't look for like clever ways to try to combat that attraction thing. Look at ways to build as much trust as possible. Look at ways to actually get the girl. One of the biggest pimps I've ever met, literally and metaphorically. If you catch that, he taught me, and he's a retired pimp now. He used to now he's just kind of a player pimp. He taught me that the hardest part about picking up a girl is getting her to actually believe that you like her. And I heard that it was maybe 3-4 years ago that he told me that, and I was like, holy shit.
Say it again?
The hardest part about picking up a girl is not getting her attracted to you, but actually getting her to believe that you like her.
Yeah, it's true.
It's so true, because there's so many situations where you're in where the girls laugh at all your jokes, but then when you try to pull, she kind of like, you ever notice that sometimes a girl like kind of laughs? She's almost like, oh, that's cute, right? It's a situation that happens where you could pull if you had more trust, but you had more attraction an hour and a half ago. Like you had enough attraction an hour and a half ago. But what you need is trust in that deep level rapport. So I'm gonna keep this going.
Wow.
I spent my birthday, actual birthday with my family. So now this is me.
21.
No!
All right, so I'm clearly trying to hit on the brunette, right? Okay, well, that's always true, by the way. It's very rare that I'm trying to hit on the blonde. So what I do is I make the other one look like a fool, and I'd make the girl I'm interested in, I make her in on the joke, in on the conspiracy, right? It's a great thing to do with like 2 girls or multiple girls. So even though Madison is there, I don't really necessarily want him in the set. I don't really necessarily like need him there. And the best thing for Madison to have success is for me to game my girl properly. So what I do is I make the other girl just do a bunch of stuff. I'm like, oh, spin, it's your birthday. So then she just kind of, all right, fuck it, I'll spin. And I'm like, oh, spin the other way. So she spins the other way. I'm like, twerk. I was gonna keep going down this list of things for her to do until she's just like, oh, I'm not gonna do that, ha ha ha. And then the second she says that, which she did, I'm gonna look at the girl I am interested in and be like, we were just, and I'm gonna include her in it, even though she wasn't really. And I'm like, me and her were just trying to see how many things you would do. And then she's like, oh my God, you guys are so funny. And because I included her, then she laughs, and now she's a little bit more tied together to me. Does that make sense? Sweet. And then boom. You're funny, I like this one. It's a great verbal reward to anything that she does that's positive to you that isn't like a lot of sentences. So when the girl laughs at you, or she laughs with you or whatever, to the thing that you did, you're fun or you're funny, I like you. And then you bring her in. It's a great reward that's not that sexual. Okay?
Bring her in, hug her.
And I bring her and hug her. But notice I didn't bring her. It's a very clever way to hug a girl, right? Some of the more experienced PUAs, I've seen you guys do this. You high five the girl, then you pull her in with the high five, and then you drop her hand on your back, and now you're in a hug situation. Do you guys catch that? So, like, if you're not doing that, you got to be doing that. It's crazy, crazy money.
Since early on, if we stopped a few times, do you mind playing it from the beginning? So, 15 seconds have really gone by?
So how far?
I didn't get to see the picture.
Just like the beginning, just and to where we're at right now.
Yeah, that's good.
Like here?
Yeah, because it's really fast, and I want that time.
Yes, again.
I was thinking because it looked really innocent, you wanted to like pop your biggest cherry. Now the other way. All right. Now twerk.
I don't know how.
fine. Yeah, like how many things would you do in a row that we say? Like, you're fun. I like this one. I'm fine.
What are you?
I'm gonna kidnap
How old
you.
do you think she is?
I think she's 34.
34?
34.
How old do you think I am?
How old do I want you to be? How old do I think you are?
How old do you think I am?
Look, her hand is still there, right?
Straight to isolation.
Straight isolate, of course. Like I said, even though I have a video out about in order to do real social game, you shouldn't isolate. I still isolate at least 20% of my sets. You guys see that? Yeah. There's an order of operations that happens. Of course I'm going to try to isolate. Of course I'm going to try to fuck right away. Of course I'm going to try to fuck every girl the first night. Of course. But there's an order of operations. If I can't get the easy isolation, I'm not going to go for it. I'm not going to risk me trying to lead her around the nightclub. That's so stupid. Leading the girl around the nightclub is retarded unless that's what you have to do. And rarely do you have, like, that shouldn't be your thing, right? You know how, like, a lot of guys, they think the thing they need to work on is leading? Well, leading, like I talked about yesterday in the Social Circle seminar, is leading, that's one of those things that, like, will help you get those 5s, 6s, and 7s, right? The girls that are a little bit above average in the club. Leading is still a good thing to do if you can make it happen. But don't force the interaction into a leading situation unless that's the natural progression of the set. So like here, yeah, if she's gonna leave her hand on my back like that after all I did was set it there, I'm gonna drag her right over there to the other side, right?
I just had a quick one about like this like video you showed me about the question about like in the the game. I've liked it, but like I don't know like if it's really what I should be doing. Is like I kind of like fucking with their head a little bit, so like would be like, oh I'm gay, it's okay, I'm gay, and like you know sometimes like the friend like this is when I was like sexually escalating quick, and the friend would like get like, oh no like don't do that, and I'd be like, oh no cool, it's cool, I'm gay, and then like
and you're fucking with them. You're not actually Are you trying to get them to think you're gay or no?
No.
Gotcha.
But like I'm sexually escalating, like I'm a straight guy, but then I just keep telling them I'm gay, and then they just keep letting me. Like is that a good?
That's good. Yeah, it's good. You'll get to a point where you'll realize that like it's just not quite. It's you. That's like I did that. I've done that many times, right? It works really good.
Well,
you just
went over both, so that's the difference. Like me, it's more like I'm trying to diffuse her friend, and I just keep her out of it.
Yeah. No. I'll never do. I'm doing both. When I do the I'm gay thing, but then I go way over the top with it. If I'm gonna go so far to be like, oh, I'm gay, I'm gonna grab both their titties and be like, oh, see how gay I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I always escalate on all of the girls equally.
Okay, I think that's where I was messing up.
Yeah, because here's the thing: if you escalate on one girl, right? Here's the thing: if you're a sexual person, you're just a very over-sexualized guy, then why would you only be sexual with the one girl, right? You know, no homo, but I'll even like be more physical with the guys in the group as well to show that I'm just this touchy-feely guy. Not like creepy, but there's no guy in the group that I'm not gonna like throw my arm around and be like, "What up, buddy?" When I give instead of like a handshake, every single guy I'm gonna do the whole high five, bring him in for the bro hug like right away, right? I mean it's. No homo, like it's very chill, like it's don't be intimidated by doing that kind of touching because that's not bad, right? But what ends up happening is it shows and then what ends up happening is then when you touch the girls, you step that up just a little bit as well. It's always the kiss on the cheek. You pull them in close for the hug. On the hug, you just squeeze them just like half a second too long, right? When you do that, you just show them that you're physical. So then when you show them that, they just kind of open up to that.
Crossing your arms and stuff you said, like I was just kind of confused.
I do that when I'm qualifying them. Every time I ask the question, that's just my style. You can kind of play with when you use the negative body language. I use it with hired guns, like strippers, cockroaches, bartenders, a lot, and then with regular girls, I'll do the like hand motions. I'll do the joke, the hyperactivity, and then they laugh, and then I'll cross my arms in like a very assuming kind of way, and then I'll ask them the qualifier. So while they're qualifying to me, my arms are crossed, and then as they qualify to me, I might loosen my arms up a little bit. Yeah.
So you said you only isolate maybe like 20% of the time. Why did you do it here?
The 20% that I isolate is when they give huge indicators of interest and logistics sound awesome. If logistics sound awesome, I'm gonna isolate the shit out of it, right? She said she made like one sentence slip that tonight's their last night and they're trying to party, and this isn't like, and there's no like hotel, like once they're done partying, they're just gonna drive back.
She showed her cards.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So once I heard that, and the other girl was okay with me doing the spin thing, it was totally comfortable with me escalating on both of them. And then she did the whole hand thing. If she didn't do the hand thing, but when I say do the hand thing, I mean like leave her arm on my back, then I wouldn't have dragged her this far. And you're gonna see in a couple seconds, I deem that it's necessary to bring her back to the group as well. When you isolate, you can go back and forth often.
Damn it.
While you're doing that, I have a question about isolation.
Go for it.
Does it usually happen this quickly? Because that's something I kind of usually get stuck on. Is like, oh, I'm running out of things to say. I should isolated by now, maybe.
If I isolate quick.
Okay.
If I don't isolate quick, I'm probably not isolating the whole set, and I'm just gonna keep it all together. Yeah, you should never really like wait to do any of this stuff because the burden of the pickup is on you, right? You have to do all the work, but that means that you get to push all the buttons and pull all the levers. So if you're gonna isolate, try to isolate within a few seconds, a couple minutes, but just don't be butthurt if it doesn't happen. Especially the hotter the girl that she is, the less likely she is to be isolated.
Did you guys like plan it out before? Like, did you like got the girl that was across from her, like from you, and then he got the other girl that was like?
There was no planning. It's just I mean, no matter who I'm winging with, unless I'm with a student, I'm gonna go after whatever girl I'm attracted to, and then the other guy can just. I mean, I don't really have wings, so I'm gonna be like when I'm gaming girls in this setting. I mean, there's no, unless I'm with a student, I'm just gonna go after whatever girl I want, and then he can have whatever is left. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just what?
It's like whoever takes action first, right? Like if he
100%.
takes a girl, that's his girl.
Right, which is the reason why I isolate this quick is like nobody takes as quick of action in a situation like this as I do, and if they do, I'm gonna kind of be a little more overbearing.
What happens like if the friend doesn't like you, like even though?
I'm just gonna stay there and run the set like that.
Oh, I've gotten just on the. You said no one takes as quick as action as you. It's something that I've been wanting to work on because like I'll because in day game a lot. What I started doing, and that's when I first learned it before I knew about the inner circle. I like have to like work up the courage, right? So I see a attractive girl, like I wouldn't go right away. I'd be like, you know you should, and then I'd be like, fuck, you gotta do it. And then I would like run up behind him, which is horrible, but like I would do it because I was just making myself do it. And I do that in the club, like for like a split second, I'll be like, fuck, she's hot, and then like I have a split second still in the back of my mind where I'm just like, fuck, do you not want to do this? And then I go, and I feel like that's killing me. So how did you like train yourself to just like go?
Because I have reverse approach anxiety. Anytime I work with a guy a little bit, like when I have like a decent amount of time to work with him, I install this with them as well. A reverse approach anxiety, and some of you probably have it, some more experienced guys. A reverse approach anxiety is where you just it's where you install FOMO into your brain with every girl that you see that's your type. Part of it is I know exactly what type of girls I like. I like Puerto Rican, I like Brazilian, I like, I mean that's it. I mean I like South. I like, you know what I mean. Like I like Argentinian. I like girls who are Hispanic. I like Italian, Sicilian, half black, half white. I mean, granted, you know that's not all that I hook up with. But when I know what my favorite type of girl is, perfect type is even a little bit silly. I know what my favorite type of girl is. When I know it like that, it makes it very easy. When that girl passes by, I kick the shit out of myself for not opening. I put myself into this like anxious kind of state where I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I beat myself up really, really bad when she walks away, because then the next time it happens, I think about all these missed opportunities that could potentially happen. Also, think about all the girls that like you do get the courage to go up with, and realize all the cool things that happen. Like sometimes I'll meet a really cool guy because me and her hung out. It ends up being one of my best friends. Sometimes I'll have sex with her and she's like one of the best ladies in my life, right? When you think about things like that, what ends up happening is you just get this FOMO, and you almost have this reverse approach anxiety, where you get anxiety when you don't open. And the more you train yourself to have that anxiety when you don't open, opening just becomes easier than not opening because you've switched the pain around.
Well, see, for me, like it's like my first instinct to hesitate, right? So first.
Yeah, but if you hesitate, you masturbate.
I know. But I'm saying that's my first instinct, right? So then I can like fight it. I can be like, nah, like the FOMO shit. I've used that to make myself do it. But like in the club, like when that extra split second, I'm fucked.
Yeah, not in the good way.
I know.
23. Why'd you just frown? You're like, shucks.
Because I'm already like, 25 is your.
When you guess a girl's age, always guess a few years below what you think it is, because that makes them feel insecure about the age that they actually are.
Prime, right? But I'm almost 26, so I'm on the way down.
So you're in your prime for like.
She said 25 is your prime.
Let me see my iPhone. No, you're on your
She said she's on her way out, and I sat and watched what I do to tease and aggressively break rapport.
prime for like another 45 minutes.
Why?
And she goes, oh shit. Like, what? Like, I'm clearly joking, but she's like, why? Why'd she qualify herself? Because I'm aggressively teasing, because I hammed it up. I didn't just be like, oh, you're in your prime for a little bit. I pulled out my cell phone. I'm like, God, how long are you in your prime for? I look at her, I look at my phone. Look at her, look at my phone. Fuck, 45 minutes, right? I say 45 minutes because that's about as long as I need with her, right?
Oh, did you get this hair? She's hot.
Do you like my hair?
She said, how'd you get this hair? And then she said, she's hot, right? And immediately I ignore whatever the fuck I was talking about and I merge.
Oh, did you get this hair? She's hot.
Do you like my hair? Who?
This one.
Let's get her.
She's hot.
Hey, how are you? We think you're hot.
You're beautiful.
We just want to.
So I grab it. Everything is we. We think this. We think this. The more you and her throughout the set, the more she'll start saying it, and then watch her just go home with you. right? You have to tie it together. We think you're hot. We think you're hot. But it's going to take a few tries before she falls into it. But you only need to fall into it that one time. So keep repeating yourself. And then look, when you merge sets, no hesitation. If you hesitate, it's not going to work as well. So we think you're hot. You can go direct like that because I'm pre-selected by the other girl. So I can be like, hey, we think you're super fucking hot. Get over here.
Say how we think you're hot. Yeah. Guess how long we've been together?
Flip it too, right? So I'm now actually still trying to get the brunette, but I'm getting the other girl that we just merged to give me pre-selection with the original girl. By talking to her and breaking rapport with her and building attraction with that one, the IOIs that she gives you, okay? This is how you build social circle game like on the fly. Because you're merging these sets, so now you already have the social circle built up right here. Social proof and pre-selection built into each individual set. And anytime you see a hot girl walk past you guys and you're talking to some girl, merge the fucking set and they'll pre-select each other for you.
Take one wild guess, fuck it. Good job! Oh, right? I told you we look like we've been together for years. You shut up. So why? Like, are you really from Bakersfield or you just live in Bakersfield?
And then I've lightly touched her and then put her body into me and then just moved her this way. It's gonna happen many times throughout the interaction. You can sense when a girl is trying to give you disinterest. You can sense when she's trying to get away from you. Your game can be super subtle and you could be gaming, like, you could be gaming some dude's wife and like he'll never even know if you game in this way. Right? Not that that's a good thing to do, but you could be gaming in some crazy work situations, right? You want to game a girl at your work? This is the kind of game that you have to do where you get her to start talking your ear off. Because if you fuck a girl at your work who like is begging to fuck you and everyone in the office knows that like, well, she clearly likes Jake, right? Well, then you end up fucking her. Everyone's like, oh yeah, she got him. And you're like, yeah, she fucking got me. Oh damn, yeah, she won. Well, then there's no problem with that. You understand that? It was Frank, right? Yeah. Remember what we were talking about yesterday, how you can fuck those girls at your work? Yep. This is kind of how you have to do it. You subtly move them into a position where they end up talking to you. There's no problem with fucking that girl. But if you're this like aggressive, direct guy, you're now getting fired for trying to fuck your office manager. You know? Right? I don't know anybody in this room that did that, but.
The happiest place in the world. How do I know that?
How do you know that? You watched the like Oprah show or something? She voted it that, I think.
How old do you think I am to watch Oprah?
Shut up, because I watched it.
Do you think I just...
Like, I'm not this happy inside. Seriously, if you want people to be around you, you have to give them a reason. Okay? You can't be, you have to realize, you have to use something to gain these girls, right? I'm not this happy. Look at me, I'm fucking smiling like a buffoon this whole time. Because what ends up happening is it's massively infectious. State transference doesn't work unless you're really shoving the state down their throat. You have to ram it down the throat if you want them to actually get it. You can't just like imagine the state, right? You actually have to present it to her.
I sat at home with my mother and then like my mom was just like, don't go to second location. Don't go to second location. That's the only thing I know from the Oprah show. Did you really? So wait, is there this like weird spot in Bakersfield?
Yeah.
She tried to leave. She tried to walk away. She maybe didn't know that she made a conscious decision to walk away, but I can see that like, a girl will just move her body before the mind necessarily knows she's trying to leave. So move. It's just subtle movements.
How are you faking it so well? Because like when I feel like shit, like fuck no, that's not.
Because I'm trying to close. I'm trying to close, and I have boot camp students watching me, so I'm trying to like make it happen.
So many guys would give up like 4 times ago.
Oh yeah. Oh wait.
Yeah,
I have another set. If we have time, I'll show it. But I don't know if we have time. That's like I reopened like 150 times or something. Yeah, I mean, you would do a drinking game, you'd pass the fuck out if you took a shot every time the girl wanted to leave. Seriously, it's crazy.
So, look, so if you didn't do that little adjusting thing, you think she would just like, okay, cool?
No, 100%. And she maybe wouldn't say that, but she would walk back to her friend.
Yeah.
Because her friend's 10 feet away.
Exactly.
She'd keep walking, she'd keep walking. Okay. I want it to be me in control of if that happens. Because it's going to have to happen, but I want to be the person to control these things. So I can show the superior person in the interaction.
I feel like there's like this oil rig that really hot girls just work on.
Again, more tease. You got to tease at the first, like, initial 15% of the interaction. You need to like tease aggressively, disqualify, just fucking shake it. You understand? If you don't, then you're not going to build enough attraction to allow the rest of the investment to happen, and the whole set is just going to be like you kind of randomly teasing whenever you can think. You don't want to be grasping for straws in your actions. You want to know, hey, this first part, I'm going to build the attraction. This second part, I'm going to build a lot of trust. Last part, I'm going to pull and close. I'm not just going to kind of like randomly do stuff as soon as it comes to me and just do whatever comes to me and then kind of piss in the wind, right? You piss in the wind, fucking piss is going to land on your foot.
I'm looking at her body language. She has her arms crossed now, so is it kind of a little table turn that she feels like you're qualifying to her now?
She doesn't feel like it, but she clearly like, I'm like definitely like slowly losing a little bit of interest, and that's why I'm gonna keep breaking rapport and building the attraction, right? I obviously don't want her to cross her arms, but you'll see what happens. You'll see how I.
For some reason, in the middle of like Vegas and LA, called Bakersfield. Like, why do you two live there? Wow, that's cool. I'll bring.
Cool. I don't give a fuck. Right? But you want to connect with somebody, even if you don't give a shit what they have to say, you have to give them a reason to keep connecting with you, right? A lot of people are like, oh, that's manipulative. No, it's called trying to build a connection with somebody, right? If I'm not showing interest in what she has to say, why the fuck would she give a shit? When I throw a student into set, 5-10 minutes later he comes out and he's like, I was bored. I'm like, wait, of course it's not going to go well. You think the girl wants to talk to a guy who's bored by her? What's that?
What are some of the things you do when you overdo the teasing and they just freak the fuck out? Because it can be a good thing or a bad thing because they're very reactive, but then you might just ruin the set altogether.
Yeah, I've had that.
Ruin the set what, by teasing so much?
Yeah, because sometimes if
like
the girl's really hot, I'll go overboard with it and she'll just get freaked.
Yeah, because you build some status to build attraction with that girl. Yeah. Like build some pre-selection social proof around her. Don't just like think that she's hot, so she needs to be teased harder on. Ideally, you actually tease less on her, but build pre-selection right around her. Right, so open an adjacent hot girl and then merge her into that set, and then you talk to her. Does that make sense?
Okay, so what do you do if you go overboard with the teasing? Just kind of
back up and build comfort. If you break too much rapport, build the rapport back up again. Immediately look for a commonality. If you notice that like you're breaking too much rapport and it just gets a little awkward or stale or weird, just immediately look for a commonality, hammer the commonality, and that will build the trust back up again.
It's so funny.
Look how many takeaways, right? Every single time, takeaway. Because what that does, it sucks them back in.
So wait, so what do you do in Bakersfield? Why do you live there?
I live there.
Also, if you're in a social circle setting specifically, all the takeaways show everybody else that you're not weird and creepy. Even if you want to escalate or be very verbally suggestive, every takeaway that you do lowers your creepiness factor.
This is really basic. In 10 seconds or less, can you redefine breaking rapport?
Breaking rapport is an umbrella that under the umbrella has different categories of sparking and building attraction. So you have breaking rapport, and then underneath that umbrella, you have teasing, negging, bantering, cocky, funny, self-amusement, physical and verbal games, disinterest, takeaways. These are all different types of ways to spark attraction. Breaking rapport is the spark of attraction, and qualification is the wildfire. It's the billow where you blow air into the fire and makes it go crazy. You understand?
Okay, yeah.
You're gonna be stuck up here.
Okay, notice how she dropped her arms because I started bowing to her condescendingly? She's like, I'm an engineer. Oh, fuck. That's amazing, right? Anytime a girl says something that's a DHV, you have to like kind of make fun of it like that, right? I'm an engineer. Oh, good for you, huh? Hey, everybody, come and check this out, right?
That's impressive. What kind of engineer?
Petroleum.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
So I said oil and gas, I was kind of right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Both of us work in oil and gas.
I was just fucking with you. I was like, what's the like most manly job I can think of? That's funny. I dated a girl who's a chemical. Anytime that you want to escalate on a girl, come up with something manly that she did, and it will lower the value of it and allow you to escalate a little bit harder. Anytime you want to keno aggressively or suggestively, if you can lower the value and lower the weight of that keno, you're going to get away with it, which still gives you bonus points of getting that escalation. It's kind of technical and specific, but it works really well, so I got to give it to you. So I said, wow, when I thought of you, I just tried to think of the most manly job that I could think of, and I touched her hip to like almost her butt kind of, and I touched that, and I just tried to think of the most manly thing I could do. So when I call her manly, it lowers the pressure of the fact that I'm keno escalating, because why would I keno escalate on a girl that's manly? Right? So I'm like, wow, I just tried to think of the most manly thing that I could do, and then it's like accidental boob graze. Or it's like lightly graze of the butt, but like not super sexual, just a little bit, right? It lowers the pressure of it, but it also allows me to set that precedent that I'm able to touch there. So the next time I touch there, I don't have to say that, but I'm still able to do it with full compliance. Does that make sense?
So do you not even think when you're like doing the like booty touch, like shit like that? Because I could definitely see me like being okay, like booty touch, and then like fucking it up, and then she's like,
no. For this set, I mean, I had to fuck up a couple hundred sets to do this and come up with this little technique.
Gotcha. No,
so,
I'm saying like now it's just automatic.
No, now it's completely automatic.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for sure.
What about humor then escalation?
It works great. Yeah, I mean, because humor, it's not humor then escalation. It's humor which creates a BT spike, a body temperature spike, and then escalation. Yeah, exactly. If you do humor and then you don't get the BT spike, don't escalate. right?
Engineer and works for an oil company.
Okay, who does she work for?
Chevron, I think, in Houston.
Does the similar thing that she did, right? That's almost always a good thing to say because you're building a little bit of verbal pre-selection. It's not as good as actually introducing her to a girl, but it's good to weed in the conversation.
Yeah, that's a real company? Okay, she wasn't making it up to me? You're funny. Do they have nail salons in Bakersfield or you get that here?
Look at it. You're funny, oh my God.
They have nail salons, like 2.
She's crossing her hands, right? So anytime a girl's crossed her arms for too long, I just ask them, do they have nail salons in wherever you're from? Because it's a break rapport about her nails and it gets her to uncross her arms. Do they have nail salons? And then I look at her hands and then I drop them and then she just doesn't cross her arms anymore. But it's also teasing her about the fact that maybe I don't like her nails. So then it works, it's kind of a double whammy.
I like you, you're fun. What are you guys saying?
We're actually driving home.
Oh, wait, she's back. We have to stop talking about her.
So BT Spike, right? About the nails. This is a great write this down if you're gonna write anything down about this set. This is a fantastic 3-step process to do this, okay? BT Spike, which means like break rapport, so I did the whole nail thing. Massive reward, verbally and physically, and then ask the logistical question, and you're gonna get a great logistical answer. So it's tease, she responds with the body temperature spike, or the laugh or whatever, then give her the hug and the you're fun, I like you. Then I pull back and say, what would I say? Where are you saying? You guys catch that? It's the 3-step process. One is BT. Every time you do a BT spike, plan a couple things ahead that you're going to do. It doesn't have to be a routine, but just get something out of the things you're saying and doing. That will also help your leverage. Don't just like randomly tease, because then it's like takes the wind out of the sails of the whole interaction. You randomly tease, at best you get a little bit of a laughter or something. Get something out of that BT spike. You follow? Yeah. So BT's like tease, get the BT spike, and then I reward it so that she feels good about it, which is the hug, you're fun, I like you. Then I pull back, I go, where are you staying? The goal is to find out where she's staying, but to get her to qualify about where she's staying.
So Luke, with high quality women, so like I've noticed that like your compliments, like you are complimenting her, but it's more personality based. Like it's like, oh, you're funny, you're this, but it's not physical like at all.
Correct. I know. I want it to be. Every compliment is ideally about something that she's worked for or attained. Not something that, it's not just compliment, it's not just personality based. The cool thing about personality is everyone's worked for their personality to some degree, right? It's like something, or at least you feel like it's something that you've done to improve your personality. Yeah. But I will compliment her on things that like I feel like she did. I really just, like when she turns slightly, you can see that she's got a really nice butt. And her face is above average. So she's the hottest girl that I saw that's not at a table. And I can't really do the table game stuff when I'm doing this type of boot camp because I think it was Julian's boot camp that I was just helping on. So I couldn't like run off to the table kind of thing, right? So she was by far the hottest girl in this little area of Marquee. So yeah, you're completely correct. I'm not going to compliment her on anything that she hasn't worked for or attained. If it's based on looks, it's going to be lashes, makeup, hair, something that she physically puts some time and effort into.
So that automatically differentiates you from every other guy in the world?
At minimum, yeah. I mean, more than that, I want to put myself as an authority about the thing that she did because I want eventually in the set, I want to position myself as if she did all that work into her makeup for me. So I'll say things like, holy shit, I love your extensions. Keep it up.
Nice.
Right? Every compliment, if you want to make it hit twice as hard, say keep it up at the end of it. Holy shit, I love your hair. She says, thanks, keep it up. When we say keep it up, it's almost, you're kind of positioning it as if she did that hair for you. Keep it up. Hey, I like that. I love that. I like that.
That's how you reward good behavior, but how do you punish bad behavior?
Punish bad behavior by doing the heavy roll-offs and takeaways, and then just neutral. If you reward as aggressively as I do, the problem is this. People don't really respond well to negative conditioning. That's why like with a student, I can't really tell him, if I only have a couple days with him, I can't tell him, hey, you're doing all these things bad. I kind of just have to reinforce things he does well and keep telling him new things because people kind of, very rarely do people respond well to negative feedback. They just kind of like retreat. They get defensive, right? So obviously the girl came back. I didn't really want her to, but she kind of came back. You always have to be in control of everything. You have to be a little bit of a control freak in your sets. Otherwise there's just too much that's left to fate, right? So I can see that she's about to say something, so I head her off at the pass. I don't want to include her, but I know I have to. So I say, oh shit, she's coming back. Yo, we got to stop talking about her.
Right now? Fuck it, let's go.
Okay, she says we're driving home. Anytime a girl says anything about like leaving the club or going home or anything like that, assume that she means with you to go fuck. Right? So anytime the girl's like, oh, we're driving home, we gotta go. Now? Fuck, let's go. Right? 1 out of 20 times, she's just gonna let you do it. Right? And then the rest of the times, it's just a really funny sexual escalator that works really well if you take it far. Right? You gotta take things far though, watch.